Hi, we are going to learn today about finding the midpoint of between 2 points. So for that we use something called the midpoint formula, and the midpoint is a point located exactly halfway between two other points. So if we have 2 points given to us with coordinates x1, y1 and x2, y2. To find the midpoint, what we do is we add the x coordinates and divide it by 2 and add the y coordinates divided by 2. And that's really all there is to it. So let's go ahead and apply that. Find the midpoint between these 2 points. So if I label them as x1, y1 and x2, y2, then what we do is we add the x coordinates together. So -1 plus 7 divided by 2. And then we add the y coordinates together. So 5 plus -3, divide that by 2. That's going to give us -1 plus 7 is 6, 6 divided by 2 is 3. 5 plus -3 is 2, divided by 2 is 1. That is our midpoint. Next example, we can label x1, y1, x2, y2. So we set it up, 5 plus -15 divided by 2, and then the y coordinates, -2 plus -8, divide that by 2. That's going to give us 5 plus -15 is -10, divided by 2 is -5. -2 plus -8 is -10, divided by 2 is -5. So -5, -5. Moving on. Example 3. These 2 points, I'm not going to label them anymore. I think you get the idea. 1 plus -4 divided by 2. 2 plus -6 divided by 2. 1 plus -4 is -3 divided by 2, -3 halves. 2 plus -6 is -4 divided by 2 is -2. Next one, 4, 7, -10, -7. 4 plus -10 divided by 2. 7 plus -7 divided by 2. 4 plus -10 is -6. -6 divided by 2 is -3. 7 plus -7 is 0. Divided by 2 is 0. Right? So this last example here that we have for this is going to be where we have fractions for coordinates, and nothing really changes. You just have to do operations with fractions. So we're going to do -1/2 plus 5/4 divided by 2, comma, and then you're going to have 2/3 plus -1/3 divided by 2. So -1/2 plus 5/4 I'll explain a little bit more. So -2/4 plus 5/4 all over 2, and here we 2/3 plus -1/3 is going to give us 1/3 over 2. Right? So -2/3 plus 2/4 plus 5/4 is 3/4. So 3/4 divided by 2 is 3/8. 1/3 divided by 2 is 1/6. That is going to be our midpoint. Right? And here's one more example, which is sometimes something that you're going to see. They give you the midpoint and they give you the endpoint, one of the endpoints, and they ask you to find the other endpoint. So if these are the coordinates of the midpoint and this is one of the points, then what we can do is, by using the formula, we know that the x coordinate of the midpoint, you find that by taking one x coordinate plus the other x coordinate, which we don't have, and divide that by 2. And you can solve this equation pretty easily by doing the following, and then x is going to be -9. You repeat the same process for the y coordinates. So our y coordinate of the midpoint is 3, and we obtain that by taking this y coordinate plus another y coordinate divided by 2. So 6 equals 8 plus y, and y is going to be -2. And then our other endpoint, the second endpoint, is going to be -9, -2. This is one way you can do it. There's also another way to do this that will avoid doing all these algebra. And I'm going to explain how else you can do it. There's really no work to show, it's more like just an intuitive approach. Let's take a look. The midpoint is at -1. The other point is at, well, the x-coordinate of the midpoint is -1. One of the endpoints is going to have its x-coordinate at 7. So from -1 to 7, we're going to move 8 units to the right. So what I can do now is from this point, from the midpoint, if I move 8 units to the left, I'm going to get -9. And then we use the same analysis for going with the y-coordinates. So from the midpoint, whose y-coordinate is 3, to the other end, to one of the endpoints, you're going to go up 5 units. So then from this point you can go down 5 units, which will give you -2. So this is also a valid approach. And this is how these problems are done.